Hey YouTube, this is a doctor coming to you with a long overdue case update video. It's been a couple years since I posted on this case, and there's been a lot of questions as to what's happening with it, and I'm going to give it to you in today's video. I'll put links in the description to some of the viral videos on this, videos from folks like Lackluster and James Freeman, SJV. This really went so viral on virtually every social media platform. But these two jokers that you see in the picture they were fired. They were officers of the Park City, Utah Police Department, and they came out to our house, and you'll see in the video they just completely shredded the Constitution and were subsequently dressed down and owned by my 15-year-old boy.
Call the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
You're not making any statements?
Nope. What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
Look.
You just touched me. You can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This guy,
Back.
Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me. Hey.
stay back.
I'm going in my house.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're going to go on the ground face first. Do you understand me?
Okay, and then
In our case, the wheels of justice moved extremely slowly. This case, when it originally happened back in 2019, and by the way, this is without a doubt, the stalest, oldest, longest case in that county, in Summit County, Utah's history. This thing has been through so much, but I'll try and make it quick. But when the original incident first happened in September of 2019, I was charged with a couple of typical tyrant cop types of charges. When they have nothing else, they hit you with failure to comply, failure to ID, when I was merely exercising my constitutional rights to remain silent. Those charges were dropped within 72 hours as a result of my video going completely viral. And so the district court felt it was not prosecutable. So they sent it to the lower court, which is the municipal court in Park City in this case. Park City then realized that since I had a lawsuit against them, I had filed a federal lawsuit against them, and they had a conflict, so they shopped it out to their friends down in Salt Lake City, and the Salt Lake City misdemeanors prosecutor got a hold of it and basically issued the same charges. That case got delayed for years. It was the whole COVID thing, and just a lot of delays, and the case wound up going to trial about a year ago, and it was mistried, specifically because one of the members of the jury was familiar with the publicity on the case and felt that they were biased as a result. Then they refiled the criminal charges, and we have trial coming up here in a couple of weeks. I think it's on September 4th and 5th. There's a saying in the legal world that goes, the process is the punishment. And really what I'll read an excerpt from this book that I'm taking a picture of here. Since the real cost of those accused of misdemeanors and lesser felonies are not the fines and prison sentences meted out by the court, but the costs incurred before the case even becomes to the judge: lost wages from missed work, commissions to bail bondsmen, attorney's fees, and wasted time. So, I see that as being, even if it's almost like a frivolous civil lawsuit. Even if they have a weak case against you, they'll put your name in the press, they'll drag you through the mud, they'll make you hire an attorney, they'll delay, and really do whatever they can, because they know that ultimately these charges are so weak that a lot of the punishment comes from just dragging you through the mud. So early in the process, we filed what's known as a 42 U.S. Code 1983 lawsuit against the city and the officers individually. What I commonly referred to as a 1983 suit. It's used in major civil rights cases involving government officials abusing their authority. So we filed a fairly significant case, and that case in the federal court had been delayed pending the outcome of my criminal charges. So that has been sort of languishing out there for years and years. Eventually, about a year ago, the case was dismissed due to some procedural stuff. I had moved and not updated an address. But today, we refiled lawsuits. So there were 2 suits. It was one for myself, and then there was another one filed by my son. And what I'll do is I'm going to do a separate video on that. It's interesting. I never in my world thought that I would become a YouTuber or first an auditor or anything like that. I don't know that I actually am, but this was early on, as far as I'm concerned, in the auditing cop watch movement. I mean, this was before George Floyd, and especially a 15-year-old kid having that level of knowledge. Now, I think 6 years later, it's a lot more prevalent. You've got some major YouTube channels. You've got folks that are doing great work in that field. But auditing has become a movement, and I think it's clear people are sick and tired of abusive law enforcement. It touches all segments of life. I don't think that bad cops discriminate. I'm sure they do. I mean, there's a racial component to it that we can't ignore, but they'll go after anybody at this point. And they're really, it's interesting, even though, with cameras and all the exposing of bad law enforcement, there really hasn't been any fundamental change, as far as I'm concerned, in the law enforcement community. They're still not training them right. There are those very few who know how to handle and interact, on camera, but I would say for the most part, they're a failure. All I can say is I hope that it changes, and I hope that, all the good work that the audit space is doing will affect change, because I'll tell you what, we're not letting off the gas. I mean, this stuff continues, and you see it. There's some real heroes out there. Last but not least, we have Jack, my son Jack, my primo, my oldest son, and just a sort of all-around American badass kid. He's been at it since birth, really, but he's handsome, he's smart, he's kind of the full package, and I would say most of all, he's loyal and would, he'd run across country to help a friend in need. He's an inspiration, and nothing as a dad, nothing can make you prouder than having good kids, and I'm lucky I got a couple of them. Jack's doing great. He's crushing it. He's going to university. He's in his senior year of school. He's doing school well. He's gotten so much recognition from the sort of social media community for his abilities. He should write a book, but he's doing great. He's heading off to law school, and I can't even tell you how fortunate I was on that particular day to have him. I look forward to standing side by side with him in the future, not only in the upcoming misdemeanor criminal trial, but in our federal lawsuit moving forward. He's an asset, and I'm proud to have him on my team. So anyway, thanks everyone for all the attention. Sorry it took so long to get an update. I will follow up with a couple other videos. We're going to do a little bit, some deeper diving on the 1983 suit, and some additional corruption within that particular city, within Park City, Utah. So thanks and cheers.